Yo, can you hear me?
Talofa.
Man,
Why am I to
what a
Fini?
mission. Is that you or me? I don't even know what's going on.
Hey, nah, I don't
Ang
know.
half of Kai.
Manuia tay. Manuia. Yeah. Man, how is it in New Zealand now?
Cold. Freaking cold as hell.
Which island are you on? You on the North Island or the South Island?
Yeah, north.
Okay, and around which area?
Auckland. So I'm in South Auckland.
Okay, so you're way up at the top on the North Island.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How's the industry looking out there? You got any body sculptors out there?
I know that there's a lot of people. Like, I know that there's going to be a lot of interest in everything. I'm just right now, we're just staying in like some temporary housing until we find a house.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where we're at right now. But I've been doing treatments like on my two sisters and my mom, just to keep, like that kind of testimonial thing alive. And they've had really, really great results.
That's what I'm talking about. All right. Yeah, I need to know what needs to be done out there as far as how the layout is, to get you all set up out there in New Zealand.
In his Instagram was what I was coming for. So that's how I ended up here. I was not going to take the risk again of trusting somebody to train me that just took the course, and now they think they know me.
The reason why is because I had signed up with another like company that was in Chicago. That's how it kind of like the light bulb came on. I was like $197, right? But then I realized when I sent her an email and a text, and I was like trying to get her attention, because what do I do next? The next thing I know, I heard her doing real estate, doing everything else. I'm like, yo, she ain't got time. This is not her real passion. So I'm going to be like lost. So then after that, I was like looking for more. And then that's when he called me. He was like, could you talk on video? I was like, yeah. But I saw the genuine, the genuine from out of it, knowing that this is all he does. This is like basically what he focuses on. So I saw that. I always look at the person's intentions, heart.
The way this workbook is written out, it's also designed for individuals who never get a chance to see me in person, just because this whole entire course is available online. Okay, so there's going to be parts that we don't read word for word. We just kind of skip over, simply because, not skip over, I'm gonna paraphrase it, because it's from a first person point of view, and I'm not going to read stories about myself, because that's creepy. It's weird, you know what I mean? Like, hey, Brandon walked in the room and Brandon said to the girl, hey girl, and the girl said, like, I'm just going to tell you what happened, right? So if we skip over a couple of pages or whatever, that's why, because we're literally talking about it. So now it's the official start of the class. So I'm going to tell you about myself. I've been doing body sculpting for 10 years. I've been doing health and wellness and aesthetics for 20 years as a personal trainer and nutritionist. In the last 10 years, especially having a jump start with my fitness business, just overall business has been pretty good, pretty stable. Part of it was just because I had a good audience in fitness. The other part just because I just hustle and run super hard. But I always, since this class came out, one of the things that I talk about is, that unforgettable moment of 2020. 2020 has been a game changer for like everybody, because even if it hasn't directly impacted you, it's hit individuals that we all know and love and care about. And on a business level, we're a people-based business. So I remember in March when they announced the shutdown, I was just like, I'm an eternal optimist, but at the same time, I'm a realist too. So as soon as they announced the shutdown in March, we have a business here where we're doing we see about 30, 40 people on average a day, with our clients. overnight it went to zero. There was nothing about the way I do business where I thought that I was going to be immune to the whole situation. Like, so from the very beginning, I literally started preparing for my rebuild. I didn't think we were gonna be open. You know, I thought we were gonna shut down like everybody else just because that's what the news said. Everybody stay home. Stay home means stays home. And I came to work the very next day and there was nobody here, you know. And it was like that for about 3 weeks, you know, where we have 1, 2 people maybe, sometimes none. And I came to work every single day still, and I kept the same schedule. I wake up 4 something in the morning, do my reading, my journaling, go work out, get to the spa around 7 o'clock, and I would leave the same time, 6, 7 o'clock at night. And without clients in front of me, I spent that entire time just studying my own business. I studied the history of how I built my business, and I went through my softwares. I went through my Excel sheets. I looked at names and I looked at dates, and I was just like, man, I have clients that have been with me for like 8, 9 years. Why? I looked at people's addresses and I'm like, man, these clients come from an hour and a half away regularly. Why? And the more I started dwelling on that, I started logging it and trying to make sense of why my business got to the level that it was at. Not trying to survive, you know, the lockdown. I was literally just being prepared to rebuild. Okay, I even drafted my letter to my landlord, and I was like, I had everything set up because I'm like, and I used all the words like, okay, as you know, the world is, you know, this, and as you can see, this is what's going on in the world. Like, I had my email, and I still have it. I had it drafted, just ready to hit send on why I ain't got rent, you know. But while I was doing that, I started to really incorporate all the systems that I've used to grow my business over the last 10 years, just to be prepared for like putting things back together. And little did I know that 2020 was gonna be hands down, not even close, the best year of my life on a business level. Ridiculously good. And you know, outside of all the prayers that I threw up every single day, the only thing I had to make sense of it was I was meticulously putting every system in place, all the way to the point where July was like one of our peak months in my history, where we got 109 brand new clients, you know, just in July. And you know, all the other months have been somewhere in that category, whatever. But this course that you ladies are about to take right now is literally my playbook on how I built my business and how I've grown it even in the worst of times. And then we're gonna go from you know, our first day in person, going over everything that's gonna make you feel confident to work on people, to waking up tomorrow literally starting to build your business.
Yo.
Yo, what's happening with a B?
Hey, what's good?
Shoot, man, just sitting over here just thinking. Want to talk to you for a little bit real quick about something.
Wait, hold on. Alright, shoot.
Yeah, so I've been thinking, and I've been talking to the wife, and she's like really loving, you know, her side business, the body sculpting stuff. But,
She should.
right? But she's really want to quit her job and pursue this full time, you know?
Nice. So what you need?
So how real is this industry? So B, I've been noticing a lot of body sculpting
All over the ground, huh?
literally every freaking where. So I'm trying to figure out what is it that you do that's different, that separates you from other body sculptors out there. I mean, I've heard so many great things about so many great body sculptors. What makes you different and what makes you stand out? Because I mean, obviously you're killing the game. There's so many great people. I mean, there's so many people out there that talk so highly of.
No, that's a hard question to answer just because it's like, what makes me stand out? I see so many amazing people out there doing it. I taught and certified over 400 of them.
Right.
So, I'm gonna,
So
when it comes to like being different, it's like I'm one of the only dudes. But I've been doing it for 10 years. I've been doing this full time for 10 years. I was introduced to it at my fitness center. My guy Paul, he was one of those guys who was telling me about body sculpting. I don't even know if he called it body sculpting then. I don't know who started that. I started saying body sculpting when I remember nobody could remember that I was saying ultrasound cavitation. So it's basically an umbrella term for non-invasive treatments that can help contour the body, melt fat, burn fat, freeze fat, shift fat, tighten skin. All that falls under the whole scope of body sculpting. So
what type of body sculpting do you specialize in, far as like, far as training, like, because you mentioned freezing. I know they got cool sculpting.
Yeah, and then they got like the ice sculpting and all that. So like the modalities that I love to stick to are ultrasound cavitation, simply because it's an instant way to start emulsifying fat cells by condensing the oxygen in between the adipose tissue and the bubbles, and that just causes friction in between those fat cells. And because it's so instant, it's literally like sanding the body down. So ultrasound cavitation, RF skin tightening, which is a radio frequency that causes like a heat stressor to the body. Wood therapy, I've been doing that for the last 3 years after I ran across that. I never knew about wood therapy until 3 years ago. But the concept made so much sense to me because I was literally manually doing that mess with my hands. When you understand how fat cells can be trained, when you understand how the lymph system works, certain things just make sense to you, so you start doing it. And then I ran across some information about wood therapy, which, just saved me a bit of work. But ever since then, it's just been, I started doing it simply because my whole background is fitness, nutrition, and I got into the competitive field of training people for fitness competitions, guys for the men's physique, women for the bikinis class. And we're talking about people who literally do everything perfect, you know what I mean? They do their eating, their training, their motivation, all those main 3 factors they have them on lock. And the transformations you would see were just ridiculous. But then you go to these shows, and as amazing as these people would look, you notice like half the athletes there, you can spot little stubborn areas. You can see somebody with like a full 6-pack and a little bit of pudge underneath their navel. You can see, some of these ladies with like, perfectly symmetrical hamstrings, quads, glutes, and a little bit of cellulite or loose skin, on their legs. So it's just like, these people are doing everything perfect, and they still had little areas that were stubborn to them. So it was like, what hope for the mortal man? And that's how it all got started, like literally looking for a secret weapon to make my clients at my fitness center look as amazing as possible. You know what I mean? And then it just kind of took off from there.
And how do you continue to keep your clientele, or if you can't, how do you continue to replenish clientels on a daily and keep them coming? That's more of a concern for me, because when you think like a 9 to 5, right?
Consistency.
It's very consistent. You have this umbrella, you have this safety net, just in case you fall, you still have a backup, you still have a 401k, you still have like a lot of these things, right? So how do you, in other words, how could you guarantee that safety net, if you can?
how can you guarantee you don't get laid off after being on a job for 10 years with a master's degree and student loans still? Ain't no guarantees. It's just
Yeah, true.
putting it all together the best way you can and getting the right type of help and coaching. That's what made me addicted to teaching the industry, and just because every single thing that you're concerned about, even if your wife's not as concerned about it because she's caught up in all the things that are going good.
She's gotten to making the money. She's gotten to the clientele. She's gotten to the rapid
you're able to look.
response to
Yeah,
it.
you're able to look at it from a bird's eye view. Like, wait, hold on, is this a roller coaster type of thing? Which, for any business, if you don't set it up the right way, it definitely can be. I've experienced it myself. In my early years of being a business owner. The whole roller coaster, being busy, all of a sudden there's a drought, then being busy. And it wasn't until probably about halfway through my career as a business owner where I figured out the formulas on how to keep a steady downline of individuals always wanting your offers, and then taking the ones that you have, nurturing them in a way where the last thing you ever have to worry about is where am I going to get clients from,
So what would you recommend?
And now that's what I teach. I teach those methods based off of the individual, though, because there's not a single bullet point checklist. If there was, it wouldn't be no point for me being a coach. All people have to do is just post that checklist online, and then all of a sudden it's everybody's problem solved. It's about, there is a skeleton, there is a template for businesses in general as far as understanding the market, understanding consumer psychology, understanding how to get offers in front of people, how to fix problems, how to fix frustrations. The same thing that I do as a technician, which is fixing individuals' frustrations, is the same thing that I do as a coach in this industry with my students. I take these students who want a business, help them launch the business, but at each stage of their business there's going to be different frustrations. I've been there. I've had too many to count, and then that's the part that we address, like how to overcome those hurdles, because just about everything that a business owner can go through in any one particular industry, they're not the first person who went through it. And fortunately, I've had enough headaches for most people.
Dude,
Yeah.
literally, you're crazy busy. Where and how do you get and book these clients? Because literally, I just really don't know.
So that's one of the things that people appreciate most about what I'm showing them how to do, is just simply because I'm seeing about 8 to 10 people a day. We're booking about 150 to 200 sessions a week, and I got 5 technicians to help me out with all of this. But it starts with having the right education as far as how everything works. Simply because, this particular technology, just with like the ultrasound cavitation, that's something that it was discovered in the 60s. It wasn't brought to the use for cosmetic reasons until 2005. And I've been doing it since, like I said, for the last 10 years. When I started, for the first several years, probably about 9 out of 10 of my clients who came in had no idea what we were even doing. They just saw some pictures on Instagram, or they responded to an ad and they were curious, but they didn't understand what body sculpting, they didn't understand what this was. So there's a learning curve. There's an educating process showing people like if it's legit, if it works. Because I know, for one thing, I was skeptical. I would have been doing body sculpting probably about 6 months before I actually started if I wasn't so skeptical about it. So everything comes down to understanding the science, like how does ultrasound wavelengths work, the different frequencies of ultrasound, and their response on matter. So when you're able to really break that down to clients after they come in. First, they come in just because they're interested most of the time. Then they need a bit of social proof, which is all your before and after pictures. And then that's going to be enough where it's just like, okay, this is just too many photos, too many pictures of people who look however most people look today, and then the after picture on how people want to look the next day. And they need to understand, like, okay, how did that happen? So a lot of times people come in just because they're intrigued and they're curious and they're even skeptical, So it's literally about understanding the science to every single modality. How can fat cells be trained and manipulated as far as where do they sit and settle on the body? And that has to do with some of the different modalities that we use, and how do ultrasound waves in certain frequencies respond to matter. Once you have a grasp of the science and understand how things actually work, getting clientele is literally about putting an offer or putting a solution to a problem in front of the widest audience you can possibly find. And if and then once they come in, effective consultations explain to them that they're in the right place, period. And then just showing them with physical proof. You take their picture, do their measurement, do a treatment, take their picture, do their measurement again. Everybody knows what their body looks like.
Right. Yeah.
So if you change someone's body in front of them, it's pretty much a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Do I continue on the road with you in this journey to help me get to my goal, or do I keep the money in my pocket, whatever it costs for your package? It's a very simple decision for most people once you get them in the door.
Yeah. So just curious, like literally you walked away from a corporate job, safety net.
I was a manager at LA Fitness. It was cool. It was alright.
I mean, you were doing great. Like, what strayed you away and wanted to pursue this like full time? Like,
just business owner wise, like being work. So,
taking it to the next level, like bossing up, like, you know what I'm saying?
Like burning the ship, and just like, I'm done.
Literally, it's crazy.
That's what. See, I'm glad you asked me that, because that's what a lot of people struggle with. I get a lot of students that been thinking about doing this same thing for sometimes months, sometimes years, but that's why, because it's just like, oh, I want to get to second base and third and then home, but I'm too scared to get my foot off of first base, right?
Right. As most of us are.
So that's the purpose of what we're doing today. I'm going to introduce you to people who've been in that same position, man. Because it's one thing to look at my example and be like, because I might just be nuts and not care and live in some Disney world, which kind of applies a little bit. But I want to talk to people. I'm going to introduce you to people from different backgrounds, different situations, and we'll find out from them what gave them the little oomph to like actually commit and start their road down the path of being a business owner and an entrepreneur. And maybe you might just walk away with something that can help out your wife even more.
Right. And that's something that I'm honestly looking forward to, and just trying to hear people's story and the path and lane and the goal that they're trying to accomplish at the end of the road of everything, and of course I know just in life, especially if you're a boss, it'll never be an end. It will always be something, but just something. Where they're headed, now, so I'm looking forward to this.
Well, we at our first in-home location. So this is Jenna. She's one of my first students for the Body Sculpting Pro. So she's kept her whole situation in-home. So she has a little in-home studio. I haven't seen it. I've seen it online, so I can't wait to check it out. I think she's here. Yeah. Hello.
Hi, Brandon. Come on in.
This is it, huh?
Yes, this is where the magic happens.
Nice.
Welcome.
This is what I'm talking about. See, I've seen it on Instagram, but it's way better.
Now you see it live.
So what all you got in here? Show me around.
I have my dry sauna.
Okay, it's an infrared sauna too.
Infrared sauna, and I have my little area if they want some privacy. They can change behind this. I can bring the doors out.
This is pretty
I have
dope.
my waist training belts that I sell here. And then
How you got more at your in-home place than I got at the spa?
there's my little girl boss sign and my certificate from,
Where'd you get that from?
Exclusive Spa Suites.
That's what I'm talking about. This is nice.
Thank you. And this is where, ooh, good, that's on video. This is where,
So you got your
yep, I
sauna
have my
blanket.
sauna blanket. So they have a choice to do the dry sauna or the sauna blanket. And they like to lay here and watch their favorite Netflix show.
I love it.
So
I love it.
it's nice and comfortable.
And then adjustable lights, everything.
Yeah, I dimmed the lights. I have my little Himalayan salt lamp. I have this guy who you gotta get this. Okay, like this is so me. Okay, alright, okay, there it goes. Isn't that cute? Ostrich feather lamp.
I was right about to say I always wanted an ostrich feather lamp as soon as I came in here. I knew exactly what it was.
So yeah, everyone loves the feel. They just feel at home here.
Yeah. And because you're doing in-home, you were able to open up pretty much immediately. So I met you right after you took another course.
Right.
And then that's
You
how I met
saved
you.
me. You saved me.
What's the difference though? Because I'm really trying to find out what's missing in the industry as far as what people are learning, what they're not learning. And it seemed like after I met you, to me, you just took off fast.
I felt like you gave us a lot more hands-on experience, and then you were very accessible to us. I know a lot of people are always reaching out to you, and so that's really nice to know that you're there when we need you. And wow, you also allow us to come in, and that's pretty amazing. So we learn a lot at the spa after we're done.
I don't understand how people don't do that.
I know, it's so nice though.
To me, it seems mandatory.
And then when your teacher's working on you, they're like, oh, okay, so that's how it's supposed to feel. And it's kind of nice to have all of it, to be doing the hands-on and then have it done to you. So I think that makes a big difference.
Awesome. And hours wise, like, is this something you're doing like part-time, or
I'm doing it part-time while my children go to school, so I try to be accessible to my clients. So I work with them. If there's a day that they really need me to do it, I will adjust my time and have somebody watch my kids, or my kids don't even make any noise, so it's nice to have it in my home so they can just put a movie on for them. Mommy's gonna take a client. So
how busy are you doing it part-time?
I've been pretty busy.
Like, what's the definition of you're busy?
I mean, sometimes I have 3 to 5 clients a day, so that's for part-time. I think that's
beautiful.
That's a lot. Yeah, it's nice though. They get to just be here, take their time. I don't feel rushed when I only have a few, so that's kind of nice. I can just let them do the sauna blanket, relax after they're done. I do wood therapy, so all that takes time, And I started adding on other things. So
yeah, what hurdles did you get to overcome in these last few months? Just because I know it's not a straight to the top process, because you're doing great, but I know it's not always.
So currently, my machine is down. So
one of your machines. That's where we have the extras.
Yes, and that's why everyone's like, "Well, you must be working really hard." And I guess I did have a lot of back-to-back clients, and it was like, "Oh, maybe this is a sign I need to slow down."
Yeah.
Take it easy.
And that's
get a backup machine.
And that's one of the reasons, like, we have the variety of vendors, because, like, a lot of times people say, "Hey, does the course come with the machine?" And I'm like, no. And they say, why? I'm like, because I want you to understand how the business works. I want you to understand all the different vendors. So when little hurdles like this come up, you don't go back to the instructor like, hey, can I buy another machine from you? No, you're able to like go straight to the source and just like you can compare prices, you can compare quality. And there's no real magic answer into like, oh, how do you get the best machine from where, unless you just find a source that you've been dealing with. Like, I got one of the vendors, but they're kind of more expensive. I've been dealing with for several years. I like that.
And that helped me because I was able to ask you, is this machine okay, or what do you recommend?
Yeah.
And again,
And then when
as
stuff
busy
goes
as you
wrong-
are, I don't know how you do it, but you do it.
It's, lots of caffeine, girl. But I know I love.
No, we appreciate you.
No,
So
I love the space. I love what you're doing.
thank you.
And it's,
I love it. I mean, I hope everyone else has been enjoying it. They tell me they look forward to our sessions, and I think it's a little escape for them too. So they get to just relax here, and while I melt their fat away. They get to literally relax.
And you think it was a good decision for you to set up in home? Do you like it?
Yes.
It's peaceful.
Yes. For me, because I have my children, I don't have to run to a studio or just to go for 1 or 2 appointments. I can accommodate them here, so it's really been great.
I love it.
Yeah, thank you.
Next steps. What are your next steps?
Ooh, well, I do hope to open a studio
Eventually.
soon. Yeah, eventually. But for now, this is working for me. But I'd like to start taking on more clients as we go, because I am getting a lot more referrals now. So it's been really nice.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking
so hope to get busy.
Well, congratulations, my girl. I love it.
Thank you, Brandon. I'm loving every minute of it.
I think that was a very awesome student at the end of the day. I mean, she's doing really well for herself, and it looks like she's growing. And, you know, I like to see her actually get that studio that she wants. So,
Yeah.
kudos for her, man.
No, and it all
That's dope.
starts
That's dope.
somewhere. Like I always encourage people to start simple and just get that runway and just work their way up. You know, that way because it can be a great business without all the extra stress. You know,
Yeah.
crazy overhead.
Right. I mean, so you've been an instructor for 3 years.
Yeah.
Was it hard to get into that? Or was it hard to
As far as like
really
coaching other people.
coaching other people, teaching, and just you know, overall just
The
giving
coaching
them-
part was natural for me. I think just because I've always coached people career-wise through something, just because my background is health and fitness. Nutrition coaching. So I've always loved like working with people, helping them from point A, to point B, or whatever. So actually, the coaching people for it, that was kind of like a natural thing. Being a legitimate instructor, that was more of a challenge. The reason I say that just because like first couple friends that I had that saw me doing it like years ago, they was like, "Oh, could you show me how to do it?" And I think about like I went to school for 3 weeks to like get this down. I don't want them to know how to do it, so I was like, "Yeah, I'll show you how to do it." Plus I needed some help, some staff anyway. But then when I started taking it more serious and to become like a legitimate school, that was a process. That was a little bit harder just because I had to create a curriculum, get it approved, and then go through multiple agencies like the National Med Spa Association, and then also going through California's Education Board in order to be able to legitimately train people for post-education and not get fined.
Right.
Because you're promising people a lot, and there's certain things that are in place to protect consumers, just from going to bad places. So that part was more difficult. But like overall, instructing people, I've trained and instructed over 400 people. So, and that's in person. Now we're up to over 100 online. So
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's dope. I like it.
Shoot. There's other instructors out there. Like, how do you feel about that? Like, what do you think about that? Like, is it like
as far as being in my like competition or something, or
more competition? I mean, because at the end of the day, like, are you afraid like they're taking clients or
no? There needs to be more instructors. There needs to be more people out there teaching the right way. I got one of the girls out in New York that I really respect. One of my other girls was Supreme Body Studios. Shout out. One girl in Chicago, Shai Picasso, Fuji Spa. I'm trying to think of the Instagram. But what I respect about the way they do it is they're actual body sculptors, like full time themselves, which is super important. In my opinion, just because every single week I get students that took a class somewhere else. Like almost half my students took a class somewhere else and were disappointed. And then one of the things that I see that the root of it all is they go to places that they might not have they never had a really full-on successful body sculpting business, because once you do, you appreciate all the grind that it took to like build that up and get there. So you train your students differently, and you show your students those shortcuts, and that's where a lot of if I just respect instructors that like live it. Some people they some of the dead clues that give it away that they don't really live it is just the way they present it. You know, they present it like, hey, you know, no offense, but all these boss babes and come build an empire and get this certification and make 6 figures. You know, like to me that's one of the most disrespectful things that you can do, because you're selling your version of success, you know, which might not be their version of success, but 2, you have to deal with enough people and their backgrounds and their situations to understand what's realistic and doable for them. You know, like, is this one of those nice lucrative industries? I'm comfortable, but it's about taking an individual and seeing what their situation is and showing them what can legitimately be done in a certain amount of time, and then how to grow things from there.
Right.
You know, so, you know, I see some of the dead giveaways are like just how they present the industry. They glamorize it a little bit too much. They're on Instagram showing stacks of money in their hand, and it's just like, I mean, what message are you trying to get out there? Like, you can't get a hold of a few $1,000s and spread it on an Instagram page. Like, no, it's about teaching people how to control their schedules, teaching people how to like help people the right way, teaching people how to feel confident in the modalities, and then teaching people how to get a whole bunch of people in front of them at whatever level they want to do that at. So, you know, I think that if instructors live that type of, you know, if they walk that type of walk, there needs to be more instructors out there doing it that way. And this is my opinion, but my opinion is also formed by having students in front of me on a regular basis who were disappointed with the previous experiences. So, I'm personally trying to groom more instructors to help me out, because there's too many locations that I can't get to in person. You know, I can travel, but still, I mean, every single week, my in-person class is 8 to 12 people in person. Not to mention, I still coach people online. So I can't get away.
So I mean that makes sense.
Hello.
Hey sis, how's it going? This is Brandon.
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Hey, I just sent you over a link. I got so many different vendors for machines and equipment, but I also have like my favorite 4. I just sent it to you, so I want you to check those out and then let me know what you think and hit me back up if you have some questions, okay?
Okay, I will. Thank you so much.
Just because I have so many different ones and all kind of different price ranges and everything. So look for like the quality of the handles. That's what I look for, the quality of the handles, the cords, because things, you know, I try to avoid machines that tend to have the same problems when it comes to like breaking and needing repairs and stuff. All right?
Okay, so but would you prefer plastic over metal?
As far as what?
As far as the handles, I read about it. I haven't actually seen one in person, but I read that some of the handles are like metal, so they're heavier.
Yeah. Sometimes the heavy handles bother people just because you're working all day long and it can be a bit too much. But a lot of them have plastic handles, but like a solid metal ring around the transducer head. So whatever you're looking at, just that you think you like, just take a screenshot and send it to me, okay?
Okay, I will. Thank you.
I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, so that it's questions like this are just like super common, just because most people who get into the industry, the only equipment they know about it is the equipment that the instructor shows them or tries to sell them. I think that's a whole part of the education, is understanding like what equipment is quality for your budget, you know, and where to get it, you know, in case you're gonna need, not in case, when you're gonna need, you know, to repair little pieces and cords and transducer heads, things like that. So I get calls like that literally every single day. So no, I think that's real important too. If you're relying on having 2 people in a room, you should have a minimum of 3 machines.
Okay.
You should always have backup, no matter what.
Okay.
If you spend 10 grand for a machine, have a backup.
So we need
If you spend $500 on a machine, have a backup.
Okay.
You know, just because you can turn an $80 problem into like a $2,000 problem, real easy.
Without having a
Yeah,
backup
I've been there
machine.
before. Where
Okay.
I'm waiting on a part to come from China, and it's gonna take 2 weeks, and then I gotta put my entire business on hold.
Okay.
You know, and it's just like I didn't lost all that,
That money.
in new revenue just from that.
I think we're gonna do that. Yeah.
I already ordered the other machine.
If we didn't order this one, yeah, we could have run into that problem.
So right now, you're doing this part time.
I'm doing it part time. I do it full time, but part time.
So you do 2 full-time jobs.
Pretty much, yeah.
And what's the goal?
My goal is to, grow the business where I can do it all day. I prefer to do it all day and leave, my company where I work at right now. I want to do this all day.
And since you took the course, what steps are you taking that are helping you the most? What's helping you the most as far as getting your clientele? What are you doing?
Following up on the classes that you offer on Instagram, the steps that you taught us in the book, meaning advertising all the time.
DMs.
Correct.
Yeah.
Doing my DMs. That's the thing that I've been relying on mostly. And then I also follow up on the IG at 1 p.m. Every day as much as I can because I do work during the day, but I'm able to listen. And you actually gave me a good idea in regards to adding the teeth whitening.
Oh, okay, yeah. And I don't do that. There's just a variety of service that other people add. But see, like the way you have this whole setup right here, what you're doing is you're just creating a whirlwind of people looking to take care of themselves. Mm-hmm. The only little thing that I would add in here to make it super, super obvious, just in case one of these doors are closed, every single thing that you do needs to be in their face the moment you step in.
Suggested that.
Like as soon as you walk in, as soon as you walk in, if the door is closed because you're in service and I'm waiting to get my hair done, I'm waiting to get a facial or whatever, the number one thing, I'm sitting there just like this, I need to be like, what is that? You can go so far to using your smart TV.
Yes, I just seen that.
And literally, I've had images that I just created on an iMovie, and it had all of my offers right here on the iTV. And then when somebody really wanted to watch TV, they can change the channel, whatever. But when they come in, it's just showing right there. Or you can go get one of those little from Target or Amazon. You can get one of those digital pictures, the digital picture frames.
Yeah, and they just
And literally load up your pictures. So you go to Canva and make your pictures. Body sculpting for this. Every service you have, set that bad boy right here on the desk when we're sitting. Our eyes are automatically attracted to moving images. So with the digital photos, it's constantly changing. And your eyes are automatically going to be drawn there. Nobody should come here 3, 4, 5 times, as wonderful as this place look, and then just all of a sudden be like, what y'all doing there? Y'all do body sculpting?
Yeah.
They should know that from day 1, minute 1.
Right.
I don't care what they came in for. They can be making a beeline to their appointment and they have just something. Put the mints there. Put the candy there. Give them a reason to stop. Like create a stop sign right here.
Right.
Which is just like the goodies.
Yeah.
So I'm walking in, I'm like, oh, wait. And then moving images. A moving image. Unless it's something big, just a moving image. And you need to take advantage of every single, you have to recycle every single individual that comes in here for different things.
Right.
Because the last thing you want is somebody getting their hair done here and body sculpting done 4 blocks down the street.
Okay, no, they get the body sculpted by me and then they get their hair done.
Yeah.
So I'm doing it in the morning before I do hair. So I come early, do body sculpting with my clients, and then they can get their hair done.
With the rooms you have here, y'all got it set up. Y'all got it set up.
Oh, well, thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like y'all can put a lot of try. This is beautiful.
Well,
But
we do.
We need it more than beautiful.
We just added
we need
hand parfait.
perfect, really.
Yeah. It's nice and quiet too.
Yeah, we just added hand waxing.
Yeah, I've owned.
And we do foot detox as well.
Because you have your own restroom. I've owned 4 locations at once. I've owned 2 locations I've never set foot in, right? that were popping. And when my guy came and showed me like the locations, it was like a one-room location, right? The only thing I asked him was like, "Where's the bathroom at?" And he was like, "The bathroom's right there." I said, "How's parking?" He showed me the parking. That's all I needed to know, and how much to rent, you know?
Yeah.
And as soon as he told me those little things, I'm like, okay, go grab it. And we throw some equipment in there. You guys have everything in here. Y'all got the whole vibe.
We
You got
actually was gonna try that. Somebody had moved
gonna
out,
break
and we was trying to break the wall and get the one next door. But
we wanted
somebody
to
moved in the next
They
week.
moved in the next week.
We might not need it.
No, get it. You
When
do
we
that
popping?
you do that when y'all losing money because y'all ain't got enough people. You do that when y'all start having
That's not gonna
problems.
happen.
Okay.
You do that when you start having problems. Like, I got an 8-room spot. We have problems sometimes because we're like, we don't have enough room for people.
I just want to add everything.
You know,
for it to be a spa, because we need an area.
Focus on your 80%.
Okay.
Whatever's bringing you 80% of your business, put all your attention on that, and keep everything else in your peripheral. Doesn't mean you abandon it, but you use those as like auxiliary treatments. For instance, my foot detox, I'll throw a Groupon on that for that if I want, because
We were talking about group.
but I'll never do it for body sculpting
Why?
because I want all my money for body sculpting. I know how to get a ton of body sculpting
Oh, okay,
clients.
we was just gonna do a little one.
No, so I'll drive traffic to my location with other services that don't really bring me money. Don't bring me a lot of money.
Because you're gonna drive into the body sculpture.
My infrared sauna blankets.
Yeah.
I did a Groupon for that. Why? Because they don't bring me a lot of money, but they bring me a lot of traffic. The moment somebody comes in for infrared sauna blanket, I go over the goals for the blanket. I'm like, hey, thanks for coming in for to do the infrared sauna blanket. What do you have going on? Oh, I have a wedding going on. Okay. The infrared sauna blankets, they work amazing to help you like flush everything out, detox, but it sounds like you're trying to lose inches fast. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, right?
Oh my God.
So, hey, I'm gonna make sure that you get what you came for, but honestly, for what your goal is, I'm gonna give you a complimentary service of something else as well. I just want you to know, because this, like what we can do with the sauna blanket in about 6 months, I can do with some body sculpting treatments in about 1 or 2 sessions. But I'm gonna give you one for free just because you showed up, and I want to really make sure, we match what you came here for with your purchase. And I don't think you quite did.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
on the
and
sauna
I do
blanket?
that all the time. I got a couple dozen clients that came in for the
'cause
sauna blanket,
And now they're your
and
client.
I gave them free body sculpting the moment they came in, and I just said, "This works great, but for what you purchased it for, it ain't really gonna do the trick. So let me give you for free what you came in here for." Once I put that measuring tape around and do their before and after photos, do that treatment, they're just like, okay, I want this. This is what I want. Okay, well, let me show you how my packages work. Take a look at it. And then I leave, and then I come back, and then they decide what they want.
I love you too. Bye bye.
So, but we got to focus on.
I was gonna ask you, so I want to follow up with you on the offering the sauna blanket separately. On what's the how in regards to the value of that, because we were actually discussing trying to go on Groupon and offering services. So we want to make sure we're offering the best services, because right now we just started. Of course, we already began with the sauna blanket, and then we have the ionic foot detox, and then we just added the hand perfume, like hand waxing, paraffin.
And that's another thing, like with the detox, I love the detoxes. They make a little bit of money for me, but I get more money. I get more business from people who come in for detox that end up doing body sculpting than I do off the detox itself. So it's just like, you have to have a very clear objective of what do you want the overall offer and experience to be the moment somebody sets foot in the door. But do a needs analysis on them. Like
What they need.
what you got going on, sis?
Yeah.
Like, it's your first time here.
Yeah.
Great. What you
Where
got?
you wanna
Something?
be?
You got
What's your
something coming
goals?
up? What have you tried already? What works the best? What didn't work? Okay. All right, here. And then you literally prescribe.
What you
Don't sell. Don't sell.
Yeah.
Don't be a
Well, you
salesman.
need-
don't be
yes.
pushing.
Prescribe it.
Just prescribe it. Like, here, you need to, you know, how's you, but talk to them about everything, including things you don't do. Because now it really is going to hit their heart. Like, you just care about what happens to me. How's your workouts? How's your nutrition program? How's your, okay, because we got a lot of clients, they're trying the Whole30 diet. Have you ever tried that? They're getting a lot of good results from it. Here goes a link for that.
Yeah.
You know, what about any little thing? How's this? How's that? And then I'm going to recommend it. And then they're like, okay, well, what do you do? What can I do here? Well, I only offer this.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
we offer it all.
Yeah, we are. That's a good idea. We, like you suggested, we do send the clients home with a
Meal plan? Or,
with
Yeah.
like a meal plan, an after service plan, and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So yeah, this is a lot of stuff that we definitely need
yeah.
to.
And it's just a systems check.
Yeah.
You know, a system check, because here's the whole idea. The funnel, remember, the funnel's at the top. We want the top layer. How many people will know you today that didn't know you yesterday?
Right.
Then the moment they do, what's the transition? You know,
all the way down.
the website, the building up the offers, the building up the value of your services, and then getting them in here, booking them for doing the consultation, doing the service,
Yeah.
client acquisition at the bottom,
Yeah.
and then repeat. So it's
Yeah.
like we have to. This is so important to look at this kind of stuff on paper, because it's so easy to be busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That part. Yeah.
Busy
I just wanna
versus
be
productive.
busy. Yeah.
Like, you'll never in your life as an entrepreneur go home with your list all the way complete. So it's easy to be busy all day long doing stuff, all day long. You have to literally look at your stuff on paper and be like, what is the highest impact items for today? What are the highest impact items? So you look at your whole to-do list. This is your what list, and then you got to transfer stuff to your win list. So what? This is everything that pops in my head. I got to do this. I got to do this. And you just vomit it up on this page. And now your win list, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. When am I going to do it? And then when you start migrating this stuff over, you start really looking at your day so strategic, because you're like, I only have time for so many things, and no matter what, this list is not going to be done. But what's the one thing I can do today to change my life? Literally ask yourself that big question. I literally try to do one major thing that's going to change the trajectory of my whole entire life every single day. Do I always get it done? No, but I'm scrapping for it every single day. I'm like, this one item. It can be something as making sure something falls off of my credit report, making sure I file my DMV number, making sure that I get this, take the time to get this brand new software down that I'm going to be able to use for my clients, making sure that, like, I need one major thing that's going to change the trajectory of like how I'm going to live my life. Like, so that's the thing, but you can't just be, it's so easy to be busy. You go,
I'm busy right now to 11:30 at night every
I can't
every day.
I lost track of how many days I went home and my wife is like, how was your day? And I'm like, whew, busy, just busy. And then I sit back and I look at my paper and I go over my notes at night, or I go over my notes in the morning, and I got a list of 8 things and one thing is highlighted. I was like, I was busy as I don't know what yesterday, but it wasn't the most productive.
Yeah.
So now
Based off your win list.
So I put less items on my list for the day, because those items are like high impact items, and if I happen to knock those out the way, then I just squeeze in a little bit of other stuff. So I go home accomplished. So now my wife is like, how was your day? And pretty much every day of my life, I'm like, I got some stuff done. I got some stuff done. Like I wasn't busy, because it's so easy to be busy. We want to be productive.
Yeah.
So like you look at things like, okay, I need to make sure the traffic that comes in knows all of my offers. Well, what do I got to do for that? I got to get my proper signages up. Whatever it is you need to do.
Yeah, we would every day.
And then it comes down to like when. Don't create to-do lists. Create when I'm gonna do it lists.
Okay.
You know, when I'm gonna do it. And it pushes
when
you.
I'm not busy.
Yeah, and it pushes you a little bit further.
When I'm not busy, I'm gonna do it.
We're always busy.
I know.
But
yeah, we are.
You're,
we want better. We want more traffic.
but you'll see sometimes I look and be like, I'm busy doing a lot of minutia.
Yeah.
I'm busy shuffling stuff around, like just busy. And then when you focus on the high impact items, you just get to a point where you're just like, I'm okay with things not being done.
Give me an example. Can I ask you that?
Go ahead.
Give me an example of high impact items.
A high impact item? Okay.
I mean, like right now we're trying to grow, you know.
Okay. Here's a high impact item. You have $50 to spend, right? You have $50 to spend. Here's a high impact item. You're gonna get a $20 banner ad from a website called $20 Banner Ads. right?
All right.
And it has a simple offer saying, summer's coming.
Okay.
You got, you got a donut or whatever
Yeah.
the case is.
Okay.
And it says, so you want a simple banner ad that says, I want to, here's a problem that I solve,
Okay.
or here's a pleasure that I offer
Okay.
with your services.
Okay.
And we create a banner for that. That's something that can be done in literally one day. And then we create a Facebook ad set, right? And a Facebook ad set is like, I'm going to spend $10 a day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'm going to run $30 worth of ads that's going to reach about an audience of 12,000 people within 10 miles of this location right here.
Right.
And as soon as they click on that banner, every single time it's going to cost probably about $1 every single time somebody clicks on it. And it runs through your $30 over the next 3 days. And once they click on that ad, they go to your website where all your information is there. And then you have a call to action saying it builds the value of the services, has before and afters, your testimonials, and it says book now. And then you have something that captures those leads. That's a high impact item where you can wake up the very next day. You can wake up the very next day and check your email and be like, I'm gonna show you my life. You can wake up the very next day and then you got to deal with stuff like this. Where's my stuff? We did an ad and in 5 days had over 400 people to call back. So now here's what I'm doing. I'm gonna spend a day and it's like, I have 2 people that I hired just to go over all this information.
Wow.
That work from home, calling people all day long. This came from
I'm
one.
trying to be like you, Brandon.
Be better than me. Like, I'm still figuring stuff out.
Come on.
Your market's bigger than mine. Every
I'm
woman that I
trying to
teach,
capture that.
every woman that I coach in this industry has way more potential than I do.
Why? Because they got a gang of homegirls. They got homegirls or something.
Let's look at the market on a pie chart. So these are all the people who would be possibly interested in body sculpting. Now let's start carving out part of that market, right?
Oh, this
Right?
is a good breakdown.
So let's start carving out some of that market. This entire market is hers, right? These are women, because most people are women who want body sculpting. Now, let's say, how many of these people in here, let's say this represented like 1,000 people. How many of these women in here only want to go see a woman technician because they're comfortable? That chunk, that's not mine. How many of those people in here don't really care if they see a man or a woman, but they dude or their husband is like, I ain't going. Count them out. Boom, right? How many of those people are inspired just by women empowerment and the body type and what another woman is? That's not my market. So my market is so much smaller, but yet I don't really know anybody busier than me. Just because I'm fully aware that I got a smaller market, so I put all my systems in place to capture and throw a big net on it. You know what I mean? That's why every woman I coach, I'm so pumped up just because I'm like, oh, you got action at getting everybody. You know? Oh, not to mention, there's a large market of fellas. Most of the fellas feel more comfortable working with the women techs just because you're the homie. I don't want to rub on your belly staring at you. Like, it's like we play basketball all day. It's different.
I know.
You know?
It makes sense.
So it's just like your market's so much bigger, so you can do way better than I could.
Yeah.
I'm just going harder because I know I got a handicap.
Well, you're doing good.
Okay. Yeah,
So
we talking about
I'm glad to have you here.
No,
So
this is.
thank you for coming.
Yeah, if y'all don't kill it over here, like,
I mean,
I needed
we
to
need
come
some
here.
help.
I know. I needed to come here and see something wrong. I need to be in the car like, oh,
Oh,
man,
is it anything?
No.
I did. I mean,
No.
well, of course, you know.
No, you got all
but
the.
I'm the one that's the neat freak, the over exotic, like whatever. I'm the one that makes sure that everything's perfect. We just added that. Deanna, she does everything too. Like we're really a good team. I love my partner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I overthink, but in a good way. But then we just make everything work.
And
you know.
is you helping? Do you help her as far as promoting it too, or not really? That's on her.
I just teach them how.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's a full-time job just getting in there digging. I have all of my people that you can reach out to. Like I have my social media people, I have my marketing people, I have my website. I know how to do stuff that I don't even do, just because it's too time consuming.
Much, yeah.
So I pay somebody else to do it.
Great.
So I just literally point everybody. Here's how you set up your stuff. My biggest thing that I coach people on is how to like track the ROI on it. You know, like if you're spending like, I spend like $400 something a day but I know where it goes and what comes back out of it.
Right.
If you spending $50 a day, if you spend whatever it is, I show you how to create systems where it's like, as you gradually grow your business, you know what's worth it.
Okay.
You know, you're not just busy wasting money. I want to show you, like, I want to put money here, I want to put resources here, but this is why. Otherwise, we're winging it. We're winging it, and we're just hoping things don't know. Yeah, when the recession is over, when this is over, when the pandemic is up, don't be wishing for nothing external. Go grab some people, get them in here. You know, like every single hour I'm booked somehow doing something. If I ain't got a client in front of me, I'm making calls back to people who want to come in.
Cause you be on the live, like doing 5,000 things. You be sitting in the reception area of your job, like walking at clients. So I thought that was really weird the other day.
Where you based out of?
I'm in Long Beach.
I was dying.
That's where you work out of all that.
Yeah,
all day.
I close my
How
other
often
spot.
you come out here?
That's how I know you're a good mentor.
To see my mom.
See your folks.
To see my mom and my grandma.
Thank you. I do. I appreciate your help.
Cool.
Nah, I'm gonna tell my girl, but we still got like 2 more
Wait,
places to hit up.
gotta give me a hug.
Alright, sis.
Always.
Man.
Okay. No, everything that you taught us, we've been doing. We doing this.
Yeah, sis.
Okay.
We doing this.
We having an event next month.
Yes.
We having a sip and see. They're gonna come. They're gonna come see what it's all about. The
Yeah,
cavitation.
we're gonna do cavitation. We're gonna do esthetician.
I'm gonna send some people out here.
Will you?
Yeah, because Wednesday's my only off day, and it's Wifey Wednesday. Like every Wednesday.
Yeah, I caught you on the day before.
Yeah. No, I don't do nothing because I don't do nothing but like work, go home, and kick it with my wife. And then on Wednesday it's like all whatever she want to do.
Okay.
So I try not to like do too many things.
That's cool. We should do Wifey Wednesday.
We will.
But I'll let you know when
Next
it is.
Wednesday. We
So
start
have
next
a-
Wednesday.
I love you.
We start next
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Show.
Yes, we're gonna start.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon, so much.
I'm happy to see y'all.
No, make sure.